Good afternoon. We have with us Mr. R.G. Krishnan, Joint President, Head Safety, Sustainability and Technology Development, Aditya Birla Group. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Would you talk about HSE practice in Aditya Birla Chemicals and how are you moving uh, in this financial year?
Right. So for Aditya Birla Chemicals, we have six different verticals. So our chemistry is different. So we have MAH, most accident-prone industries, major hazard industries, which is chlorine, and we also have other reactants which make it important that we look at safety in multiple angles. The easier part is workplace, which is visible, it announces itself. The more difficult part and the theme of the conference now is the hidden tiger, which is the process safety. It's not visible and it manifests itself suddenly. There may not be precursors, and that's the biggest challenge because as a chemical industry, you're already in the limelight for the wrong reasons. So even the smallest of incident concerning a chemical spill or a release can blow up into a major thing. So our focus is with a legacy of plants which are of different vintages. We are trying to put a very robust program on process safety, wherein the asset integrity and identifying the process hazards and updating them all the time. That's the key focus. That process safety is a key area in which asset integrity and identifying the hazards in time with the changing technology, and we are constantly upgrading the technology with safety at the design stage itself at the focus. So a few things going parallelly, because you keep your eye off for a moment, you could have a safety incident.
And so, what are the parameters that you look after, or what are the parameters that you monitor for so that these incidents can be minimized?
So the general mantra is that you monitor the leading indicators which are giving you a kind of pre-warning. So in workplace safety it is simple, near misses and things like that, but in process safety we are adopting process safety methodology of capturing the real happenings on the field. It's not a question of running after numbers, but if you see that the same leakage is happening in 100 different places in a period of 6 months, it's time to change the pipeline. So these are the kind of subtle messages that come from these so-called leading indicators. So we measure the leading indicators, which is near miss and lower tire incident. We normally call it tire 4, which is a process near miss. And then if you prevent those, then you will not have a major loss of containment or major leakage of any chemical, some of which could be of hazardous nature. So our focus is on behavior, the operational discipline. We had a good connect saying today morning saying that view from the top and the discipline at the last mile. So the tone from the top, discipline at the last mile. In between is the systems. So we are focusing on behavior, which will lead to operational discipline, and numbers that give you a kind of a feel over a large canvas. We have 21 units around the globe, so the numbers can give you a clear story of how is the maturity level.
Sir, how do you manage those 21 units? Uh,
Actually, we have business-wise safety focus because our insulators business, our inorganic sulfides, peroxides, and chloralkali businesses, they run differently. So we have unit safety heads, and we have common matrices on behaviors, and we have common methodology of measuring workplace incidents and process safety incidents. So in a way, they normalize. They give you a unified view in terms of how much you need to take action on assets, the equipment, how much on the people front and discipline, reward and consequence, both sides of the coin. So though the chemistries are different, our unit champions, and sometimes we have businesses which have 7, 8 units. They have a business safety head. These people help me. We don't work with a large team in the center. We engage with the units, and we also engage for periodic assessment external safety auditors.
and do you have some kind of a dashboard which helps you manage, look at
Yes,
the overall picture?
yes, we say 3 or 4 are lagging indicators. So after the event, and a few are leading indicators, which means maturity scores on practices, near misses, and such incidents. Even training for contractor workmen for our employees is a leading indicator. So the belief is the more you train, the more they are familiar with, the lesser the propensity for an accident. So we have dashboards galore, but we say beyond the dashboards, it's the key focus. That's the focus I have been keeping. That what do the dashboards tell you?
We 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 got to know about uh, major or minor accidents almost on a fortnight basis across the industry. So, what precautions need to be taken care as a senior HSC expert? What's your view?
So today the situation is one you got to know because today there is a lot of transparency in disclosure.
Okay.
So if any incident leads us to shut down the plant, even if it is for 2 days, we need to inform as a listed company SEBI, or if there is a show cause notice or a stoppage due to some incident, and incidents galore due to small and big reasons, we have to inform. So today the information is freely flowing in the open world, so the transparency is there, so you have to be proactive. The message for us internally and to the industry at large is people are changing. There is a high level of movement. I wouldn't call it attrition, there are aspirational movements, which means 30 to 40% people changing every 2 years. So you are losing the expertise, and the digitization in safety will only help provided the competence is there. So that's one risk. The second risk is how fast you replace the assets, which could otherwise lead to incidents. And the third level is where do you call end of life. So that's been the job I am doing as a corporate safety head. So I, on behalf of the business, I call the end of life, saying no more, and we will not use this asset anymore. So there's always this temptation to extend the life. So these are three areas on which we are working: the people front, the equipment front, and calling out at the design stage and end of life both.